All right. So on the screen, we got the Super Falcons of Nigeria stepping out for a training session. Now, this clip is kind of old, and they're already in Douala, Cameroon, and that's where they'll be playing their Olympic qualification first leg versus the Indomitable Lionesses of Cameroon. The game will be played in a little over 24 hours, and in this video, we're going to be talking about the match. We're going to try to predict the start lineup for the Super Falcons, and also we're going to be hearing from the head coach of the side, Randy Waldrum. Now, before we get into all that though, please make sure to like and share this video, and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thank you very much. So yeah, the Super Falcons will take on the Indomitable Lionesses in the first leg of their Olympic women's football qualifier. The game will be played tomorrow, the 23rd of this month, 6 p.m. Nigerian time to start, and it will be hosted at the Stade de la Reunification in Douala, Cameroon. Now, when it comes to watching the match, I'm not sure who's going to be showing the match, but I'm pretty sure somebody is going to be showing the match. Cameroon has been doing pretty good when it comes to getting matches out there. You even go back to our under-17 matchup, the under-17 women who took on Central African Republic. That match was televised. You go back to Cameroon playing against Uganda in the last leg of Olympic football qualifiers. They showed that game too. So I'm pretty sure they're going to be showing this game. Not 100%, I'll say 99%. Just leave that 1% for chance, but I'm pretty sure the game is going to be shown. Either way it goes, stay tuned to the channel, and whenever I get the information as to who's going to be showing the game, I'll definitely give it to you guys. Now, on to the Super Falcons opponents. Cameroon got to this point in the qualifiers by defeating Uganda 3-2 on aggregate. They actually lost the first leg in Uganda 2-0, but they bounced back in the second leg, which was played in Cameroon. They won that by 3-0. Now, when it comes to the Super Falcons, they took on Ethiopia in their last round of qualifiers, and that ended 5-1 on aggregate. The Super Falcons actually played a draw against Ethiopia in Ethiopia. That was a 1-1 draw. Then the second leg was a 4-0 win in favor of Nigeria. For me, I've heard a lot of people say that this is not a really good Cameroonian side, and I'm not going to say that they're wrong for saying that, because if you look at the results, they were just knocked out of the WAFCON qualifiers by Kenya. Then also the 2-0 loss to Uganda. You did come back and win the second leg by 3-0, but the damage is done. That's still a result that everybody can see. So I can understand why people would say this is not one of the best Cameroonian side that the Super Falcons are facing, but at the same time, you can't go in there with that type of mentality, because you're still playing Nigeria versus Cameroon, and you got to respect that matchup. You got to respect the history between these two teams, and you pay respect by going, full throttle. You pay respect by playing 100%. You pay respect by taking it to your opponent and not just sitting there and waiting for something to happen. Because when you play a team that looks like they're lacking on confidence, the one thing you don't want to do is give them that confidence. And keeping a team in a game, not creating chances, not putting them under pressure, that gives a team confidence. So if you go through the motions for like 30 minutes, that's making them feel like, hey, we can hold these people off for another 30 minutes or another 60 minutes or win the game. So that's one thing that I feel the Super Falcons can't do. They can't just allow the game to just pass them by. They have to take the game by the horn and actually try to win this game in the first leg, not just go there and sit around hoping that they come home with a draw or something like that. Now, moving on to the lineup prediction, the start lineup prediction. Of course, we got head coach Randy Waldrum back with the fold, and the team used the 4-2-3-1 formation the last time he was in charge, and that was, of course, at the last FIFA Women's World Cup. So going by that, we're going to predict the start lineup for the Super Falcons against Cameroon. Starting in goal, we got Chiamaka Nnadozie of Paris FC. I don't think there's any question about that one right there. That's a sure thing if there's any on this team. Then you get the central defender defenders. I believe the coach is going to still keep faith in Osinachi Hale and Tosin Demehi. They started every game at the World Cup, and they've been playing regularly for their club sides. Tosin Demehi in the French women's top flight and Osinachi Hale in Mexico. I mean, you also got Ashley Plumpton and Akudo Bona who could play in that position, but I'm thinking the coach is going to go with those two right there. Then we move to the fullback positions. At the right back, I believe Michelle Aloze is going to get the nod for the start. You do have Akudo Bona who started against Cape Verde in those 2 legs, but those weren't under Randy Waldrum. I think he's going to go with the more familiar Michelle Aloze in this match. Then you get the left back position, and kind of the same thing. Ashley Plumpton played the matches as a left back at the World Cup. She did take time off from international football ever since the World Cup, and Rofieri Moran has been playing on the team ever since then. So that's going to kind of be a decision to be made. But the coach has said that he likes to keep his best players on the pitch. He sees Ashley Plumpton as one of his best players. So I'm thinking he's going to do just that and play her as a left back in this game. Then you get the midfield position. You get a couple of returning players, Halimatu Ayinde and Christy Uchebe, making their way back into the team. They've missed the last few matches that the team has played. You also get Jennifer Echegini that has also missed the matches. Her situation was more of playing the NCAA tournament at that time. You get Deborah Biodun, who played the last 2 matches, the ones against Cape Verde. Rashida Tajibade has been an ever-presence along with Tony Payne. So that right there is a good kind of headache for Randy Waldrum. A lot of nice players to select from. I believe the 2 midfielders, the 2 pairings that he's going to pick are going to be Christy Uchebe and Deborah Biodun. I believe Halimatu Ayinde, just coming back from injury, has played 2 matches with a club ever since her return. That might be just a little bit too quick to be playing in this match. Maybe she comes in as a sub. Now for the 3 players behind the striker, I believe that's also going to be a tough decision for the head coach. So many quality players to pick from. Now I'm going to start with the easy one, and that's going to be Tony Payne in that middle position. I think that's a sure bet right there that she's going to start. Has been starting for the coach, even started for the intern coach, so I don't see how that's going to change in this situation right here. Then on the left side, I feel like that's going to be a real tough decision. You got a whole bunch of players that can play on that left side. You got players like Gift Monday, Rinsola Babajide, Uchenna Kanu, even Esther Okoronkwo and Ifeoma Onumonu can also play on that left side. But in my opinion, the coach is going to go with Jennifer Echegini for this one right here. I feel like she's the player on form. She has scored 4 goals since recently joining Juventus, just scoring for fun over there. And I'm thinking the coach is going to bet on that form in this game right here. But at the same time, one thing about Randy Waldrum is that he likes to go with the players that he likes to go with. So he might just go with Uchenna Kanu in this one. She has been in good form for the Super Falcons, scored in the World Cup, of course been scoring in these recent qualifiers that we've played. So she's definitely a good selection also in that position. But like I said, you got Jennifer Echegini's form right now, and you add that to the fact that Uchenna Kanu has not played recently. Of course, the league is in off-season mode right now, although you do have players that their clubs have not been playing that I also predicted will be in the starting lineup. So who knows right there. But in my opinion, in my guesstimation, I'm going to go with Jennifer Echegini to start this one. Moving on to the right side, I think the coach is going to go with Rashida Tajibade in that position. I honestly don't know what's up with the captain situation, because Chiamaka Nadoze was the captain for the World Cup. Then right after that, you have Rashida Tajibade wearing the armband. But either way it goes, she is an influential player on the team, a player that the coach relies on. So I don't see how she's going to be missing out of the start lineup. And I think she's going to be playing right there on the right side of that 3. Then, of course, at the top, the striker position, I feel like That's Asisa Oshwala's position right there. Of course, you got Esther Okoronkwo, Ifeoma Onumonu. Both these players can play in that position. But I feel like in matches like this, you just got to have your biggest guns. And Asisa Oshwala is definitely the biggest of guns. Definitely believe she's going to be in the starting 11 in this match. So that's my predicted starting 11 for the Super Falcons match against Cameroon. Of course, like I said, the match will be played tomorrow, the 23rd of February, 6 p.m. Nigerian time to start. So let me know your thoughts on the game. And of course, we're going to be closing out with head coach Randy Waldrum talking about the game. So please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel.
You're back in Nigeria, contract extension based on your performances in the World Cup. I know before the World Cup, you said your target was just coming out from the group stage. We did, and then we got to the second round. We're back now in Nigeria. 15 years out of the Olympics, what's your personal target?
Well, the goal, obviously, is to qualify for the Olympics. We can't look ahead of ourselves as to the success in the Olympics until we get there. So qualification is going to be the primary goal. And we've got, as everyone knows, we have a very difficult set of matches coming up with Cameroon. So all the focus now will be on those two matches.
How are we ready for Cameroon? We stopped them from going to the World Cup in the last WAFCON in Morocco, and they will sure be seeking for revenge.
Well, they will. And if I understand history correctly, I think Cameroon stopped us from going to the Olympics a few years back, maybe 2012, somewhere around there. So I think the two countries know each other very well, and they certainly have a lot of talent, and they're very, very dangerous, especially in their counter-attacking style of play. But I really, really like our squad. I like the team. I like the team chemistry. We were able to get all of our players back in for these matches, and I think that's very important. So if we can put together our performances like we did at the World Cup, then I really like our chances.
So you're saying we'll try as much as possible to maintain the tempo of the World Cup and play good football?
Well, we need to carry on from what we did at the World Cup and build on it and even be better. You know, the difficult part for these matches or any of our upcoming matches is that the window of time, the international break, doesn't give you a lot of training time. So we're going to have to rely a lot on our experience at the World Cup to take us through, especially this first match at Cameroon, before we really get a few really good days of training before the second match.
Thank you.
Thank you.